We got 5 games we're going to talk about on today's Teddy's Tips. 2 games for the clients tonight. That means 5 for you guys. Let's talk about Charlotte, Brooklyn, Knicks, Rockets, Raptors, Pistons, Mavs, Bucks, and the Cavs and the Lakers to close out your evening. Welcome to Teddy's Tips for Tuesday. File our Tuesday at WagerTalk.com. Check out best bets. I've got one up in the NBA. I've got 2 NBA plays. One of them's the File Our Best Bet. Check it out on my homepage, w.buzz/TC, or visit the website, WagerTalk.com. Little recap from yesterday. We had a pair of wise guy totals, the games where the total moved overnight, a clear wise guy move. Cleveland, Utah under. I'm like, I don't understand it. And then there it cashed for us. So Jazz, long streak of overs, ends with the under money in the Cleveland, Utah game. And of course, Detroit, OKC went over. With under money was where the wise guys had bet it. But how'd that game go over? Well, it was 101-101 under the total in regulation. Overtime is where unders go to die. And unfortunately, we had the under for the Pistons and the Thunder last night. That's where that under went to die. It'll happen sometimes. Nonetheless, right side when you're talking about 101-101 at the end of regulation. So both wise guy totals yesterday, I grade them as W's, even though Detroit OKC ended up being an L. It was a right side that ended up with the wrong result. The still value play, Phoenix. They played crappy for 3 quarters. Boy, they turned it on in the 4th. The Suns took care of business last night. Still value was a W. For today, let's start Charlotte and Brooklyn. Of course, I want to talk about let's start with this. Let's not start with Charlotte and Brooklyn. Let's start with 2 wise guy total plays. For today, we'll get to Charlotte and Brooklyn in just a minute. And we're going to start with one that makes perfect sense. All right, the one that passes the does it make sense test. When it comes to regular season NBA, especially at this stage of the campaign, a lot of overs. All right, defense becomes optional over the back 15, 20 games of the season for a lot of teams, especially for the tanking teams. And you see some really high scoring outputs. If you blindly bet every NBA game over from March 1st to April 1st, you probably make a profit. I haven't done the math on it, but I would think you probably would. That said, all right, when it comes to the games that don't fall into that same regular season tanking team, contender against non-contender, when you get these matchups of 2 playoff teams playing with playoff level intensity, all of a sudden you get real different types of games. And we talked about it with the OKC and Detroit yesterday, that, defensive intensity, playoff intensity. What do we got tonight? New York, Houston. Total in this one sitting anywhere from 217 to 218. The sharp money has absolutely come for the under with the Rockets and the Knicks, 2 teams that kind of hang their hat on the defensive end of the court. Houston had one of those team meetings 2 games ago. They responded with back-to-back wins and really a blowout last time out, but the defensive effort has been there. And the Knicks, we think about what's the Knicks' MO. Sure, it's Brunson, and Cat. But the Knicks real, why are they competing for championships and why are they a playoff team and why all that? That's what they've done in the defensive end of the court. So makes sense to me. Wise guy total, Knicks, Rockets, under. You can still find 218s if you shop around. One other wise guy total worth noting. Again, the wise guy total. The concept is we track everything from the night before. We give it time to breathe in the morning because some of the overnight moves, sometimes you see their false flag moves. They're when the limits get bigger, then you see the money pour the other way. So I wait, I don't do this at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I wait until 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific time through this report so you don't get those false moves. One that stands out, absolutely, Dallas, Milwaukee over the total. I'm seeing 230s out there right now in a couple of leading indicator books, both here in Las Vegas and in the global community. And last night, we were looking at this game. There was as low as 227.5 for Dallas and Milwaukee. And again, it makes perfect sense. 2 lottery-bound teams with nothing to play for, both essentially trying to lose. What do you see in these games? Defense optional. And when it comes to really, some of the lottery teams are pretty inept offensively. You watch Brooklyn and you go, okay, They're not necessarily a team I'm dying to play over the total, even when they play another bottom feeder. But when it comes to the Mavs, ton of veterans getting minutes for Dallas, for Milwaukee. Again, their young core's decent. Doc Rivers, by the way, talking about the season in the past tense right now. That's something I look for in the NFL season. As soon as I get to week 15 and week 16 and the coaches are talking about, well, we could have, well, this year was, that's bet against the rest of the way. Doc Rivers has given us that with 8 games out. I don't want Milwaukee tonight, but certainly the over in this one. Wise guys have pounded it already. Not pounded it, but it's certainly gone up. We're looking at, again, 227.5 last night. Now I'm seeing 230s out there. A clear wise guy move for the total. Before I talk about the other 3 games we're going to talk about on today's show, I do want to let you know right now, just posted today. All right, yes, it's $5 Tuesday at WagerTalk.com. Take advantage, get best bets for $5. That's not the deal. The deal is, well, it's a good deal. The deal is $1.99 for the rest of the regular season and the entirety of the NBA playoffs. That's it. Nothing more to buy. No bait and switch. All 5% included. Playoffs are normally $2.49. They discounted it $50 to make it $1.99. They're throwing the rest of the regular season for free. And I'm winning right now, guys, in good current form. 75%, 9-3. My last dozen selections. So check it out on the homepage, wt.buzz/TC. If you're thinking about signing up, this is the offer to do it. Again, $2.49 every play, every day through Game 7 of the NBA Finals. $99. wt.buzz/TC. Appreciate the comments, likes, and follows very much. Thank you for your contribution to this show. We've developed a nice community already for Teddy's Tips. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Now, let's talk. I said I was going to talk Charlotte and Brooklyn. I promised that. Not that you guys are dying for Charlotte and Brooklyn, but I promised it. Let's do it. And certainly this one is our still value play. All right. So last night, Charlotte wasn't 17.5. They were 15.5/16. Today, I'm seeing 17s out there for Charlotte. And if you're going to do this, lay 17, don't lay 17.5. Shop around for the best number. But sometimes with these big chalks versus bottom feeders at the end of the season, you can get carried away with line value. And again, we don't want to underestimate line value by any stretch of the imagination. It's a huge factor day in, day out. But when it comes to, I can't make a bet ever without getting every bit the best of the number, that's not realistic. It's not realistic for me. It's not realistic for you. It's not realistic for anybody. And when you talk about, all right, I'm going to lay 16, but I'm not going to lay 17 with Charlotte. Brooklyn is what they are, all right? Now, oh, by the way, Brooklyn beat Charlotte by margin the last time these two teams met. I'm sure Charlotte's going to remember that. And, of course, we do have Charlotte coming off back-to-back losses. This is a blowout spot for a team that's been pretty good at putting blowouts together. And, oh, by the way, Brooklyn's off a win, a rare win against Sacramento. So we have Nets off a win, Charlotte off a pair of losses. It is a smackdown spot for the road favorite. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Still value with Charlotte, even at 17. I know he could have had 16. So be it. That'll happen sometimes. And at this stage of the campaign, again, we're willing. I'm not going to get way the worst of it. If it's 18.5, no. 17, yeah, we can lay 17 with Charlotte tonight in a game. We can expect them to win. 2 more games to talk about real quick here for this one. Cleveland and the Lakers. I leaned LA here. Did not pull the trigger. Can't say we're happy with the way that the Cavs are playing basketball right now. This might be a circle of wagons game for Cleveland, but the injury report, they could be sitting guys tonight. Lots of questions for the Cavs on the injury front. Check Cleveland injuries before betting on that ball game. And last but not least, Toronto and Detroit. Markets are really loving to bet against the Pistons lately. And I get it. The Pistons gassed a little bit off of last night's performance in OKC that went to OT. I understand, shorthanded, coming off an OT game. I get it. I still don't trust Toronto to step up in class. Pistons are pass for me in that one. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate those comments, likes, and follows. Check out the website, WagerTalk.com. Take advantage of $5 Tuesday pricing, wt.buzz/TC. And think about that package, guys. $1.99 for the rest of the regular season and all the playoffs. on my homepage at WagerTalk.com. Have a great day. We'll do it again tomorrow. Cheers.